Hi everyone, welcome to this Diablo Immortal video where I'm going to be taking a look at the patch notes introduced on 14th of April. Let's see what we've got in store. It says fell vicious demons with new legendary items. So I think this is the patch notes that's going to officially introduce and announce the new essences for all of the classes which we've seen a few leaks for. I had a look at the Necromancer ones and they looked really exciting, especially the mounts. I presume they're going to be in more detail and probably officially mentioned over here. Well met and well struck, adventurer. Since our last meeting, you bolstered the stockpiles of Westmarch Armory, claimed the Wayfarer's offering, and cleaved through returning events. This content update introduces new legendary items, more events to fight through for Iron Stockpile, and more. So the server maintenance will start on 15th or 16th of April, depending on where you are, and then the patch will be live after that point, so we haven't got very long to wait. What do we have here? So we've got new legendary items and balance changes. Oh no, balance changes. I'm not looking forward to reading those. Iron stockpile events, returning events, feature updates, and I don't think we're going to get bug fixes just yet. That will usually be later on in the week. But let's take a look. So these new legendary items can be obtained as a drop on Inferno 6 and higher difficulty. So you need to be on that Inferno level or higher to actually get hold of these new essences for your class. So I'm not going to go through and read all of these because I don't really know too much about some of these essences because I've only ever played as Necromancer. I've just heard about some of these skills. But for Barbarian, you've got Cataclysm Rake for shoulders, which affects Sunder. You've got Nail Toe for the pants, which affects Ground Stomp. You've got Munchgrin, and he said Munchkin then, Munchgrin, which is for the helm. This is a new essence for Ground Stomp, and you've got another Ground Stomp essence, Pulp Maker, which is for the offhand. Leap's got a new essence, Terrible Divide for the main hand, and you've got Vagrant Mercenary, a new Sunder essence for the chest. So they're the Barbarian ones. Hopefully you are excited about those if you're a Barbarian. Those of you who play Blood Knight and still remember Blood Knight, these are the Blood Knight essences. So for your helm, you've got Engulf Spirit, which is a transfusion one. Then you've got an essence for Umbral Lance, which is called First Bloodwalker for the main hand. You've got a chest one called Herrera's Cage, which is a transfusion one. For the shoulders, you've got Hunter's Well, an Umbral Lance essence. You've got another Umbral Lance essence called Lost Companions, offhand. And then you've got Knight's Charge for the pants, and that is an essence for Sanguinate. So hopefully Blood Knights enjoy those essences. Crusader have got a whole load of new essences as well. You've got Blessed Offense, a pants essence for Shield Glare. You've got Fine Misfortune, a helm essence for Fist of the Heavens. The Clobber, a main hand essence for Falling Sword. Proven, Reprove, an offhand essence for Shield Glare. And Squash Tox, a shoulder essence for Fist of the Heavens. So hopefully those are good ones there. Demon Hunter, you've got some nice ones hopefully as well. For the main hand, you've got Smokescreen Essence, Dusky Courier. Eyeless Watch, a helm essence for Sentry. You've got another Sentry essence called Fated Scorpion. That's a cool name. For the offhand, you've got Fire Piper, Pants, which is for Knife Trap. And then you've got another Knife Trap one called Maiming Echo, and that's a shoulder essence. Seditious Breath, a chest essence for Smokescreen. And they are all of the Demon Hunter essences. I wonder how they come up with these names, actually. I wonder if there's like some sort of AI generator or one of those like weapon name generators that you used to have on the old school Diablo and stuff like that, I remember. And then they sort of come up with these essence names because some of these are really interesting. Monk has a whole load of new essence as well. So you got Shield of Zen is going to get a new essence, which is called Calm Within Rage. Helm essence. Immovable Force, that's quite an interesting name for the shoulders, and that affects Mystic Strike. Wave Strike is going to get you a new essence as well. Malword for the chest. Reverse Transgressions for the pants, and that's for Breath of Heavens. Sacred Echoes for the main hand, that's going to affect Shield of Zen, and then Wave Strike has also got a new essence as well called Steadfast Strike, and that's for the offhand. Now, I've already spoken about the Necromancer ones in a separate video, and I am quite excited about some of these. Blighted Crop is a main hand one for Bone Spirits, which sounds quite interesting. Dark Curse has got a new essence as well called Corpse Daggers, and that's for the pants. And you've got another Bone Spirits essence called Death's Egress for the offhand. And then you've got some really good Bone Spike ones. So there's two Bone Spike essences which are really cool. There's this one called Spare Ribs for the shoulders. And there's the one at the bottom called Vale Hallow's Helm, which is where you get a mount. and that's going to be the most exciting essence for Necromancer. And then there's one which has got the funniest name called 3 on a Pig's Post. That's for the chest, and it's a Dark Curse essence. But yeah, it's the mount for the Necromancer where all eyes are going to be on, and it's going to be really fun to use. Tempest has got a whole load of new essences as well. For the main hand, Riptide's going to get a new essence as well called Tide Breakers. You've got Jagged Conch for the offhand, which is going to affect Blade Dance. Riptide has got another new essence called Hanu Lagu's Armada as a chest one. Mistwalkers for the pants, and that affects Breaker. Stormlost Visage for the helm, and that affects Blade Dance. And Breaker's got a new one called Shroud of the Anointed. And then Wizard's got a whole load of new essences as well. Equalizer, and that one's where each time you use a skill, your next magic missile turns into a flaming missile if cast within 5 seconds. That sounds quite cool. That's for the main hand. Got Fury Revenge for teleport, which is for the pants. An offhand one for Ice Armor called Flames Superiority. You got Horned Veil for the helm. That affects Scorch. Ice Armor gets another new essence called Ice Guard for the chest. And then Insult to Injury, where damage dealt by Scorch to the same enemy within 2 seconds is increased by 8%. And that stacks up to 24%. Okay. Now let's take a look at this bit. Balance changes. This is where things get a bit annoying, I presume. Barbarian is going to get some changes to Shackled Fate, which is the chain spear, where the range is reduced from 8 yards to 5 yards. Ouch. And Flicker Tone, where energy generation from skills is reduced from 20 to 10. Okay, Tempest. We've got Skin Parter for Rolling Surf. Blade range reduced from 8 to 6. And this is going to make Tempest a bit more of that melee aspect and sort of going away from that range a bit more. Crusader Yawning Rose is going to get a bit of a change. That's a Judgment. So fall time of the Fire Blast is increased from 0.5 seconds to 1 second. Ooh, okay. For the Monk, you've got Inner Sanctuary, where that's the baseline one. Cooldown increased from 20 seconds to 24 seconds. You've got a bit longer to wait before you can use that again. Now, here we go. Necromancer. Wilt Bloom. Oh, not Wilt Bloom. I was only just about to start using Wilt Bloom because I've been using my Scarecrow build in PvP, which is my fear one. And I played a few convoy matches. And I decided that I think that's a nice area to actually use Wilt Bloom and take in the Golem. So I've not actually had a proper chance to dive into Golem for the Necromancer. I've just been dipping in and out. I've not properly saved it in a build yet. So what's going to happen? Damage reduction is reduced from 40% to 40% from 50%. Okay, it could have been worse. I guess it's 10%. Well, as squishy as it is. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, Defiling Swarm. Defiling Swarm, I use it all the time. What now? Grim Scythe. Hit radius of the scythes are reduced by 33%. Okay. Orbit radius around the players increased from 2 to 2.5 yards. Okay, that's not bad because I use that in things like Dungeons and Vanguard as well, and sort of Terror sometimes I take it into. It is nice having those scythes just like whirling around you. It's a nice AoE one that's used quite nicely with Corpse Lance as well. But yeah, the hit radius going down. I think I'm more annoyed about that Wilt Bloom one. It's just the nerfs just keep on coming. I mean, it's been ages since like Necromancer came out and these essences, and they just weren't balanced enough when they came out, I presume. What's this developer's note? Several PvP classes are overperforming in PvP combat. I wish I experienced that with Necromancer. So we're going to reduce their damage potential to bring it more in line with other classes. The changes are aimed around reducing lethality by adjusting range and frequency, which is aimed to not affect the overall PvE output. That's good, because I was complaining about this in one of the other videos where they're making all these like nerfs and changes to these classes, and they're mostly due to complaints and feedback from PvP, and I don't really play PvP that much in Diablo Immortal, mostly due to the play to win aspects, and just I'm not really that keen to jump into a match and just getting steamrolled within seconds. It's like, doesn't matter what skill you have or anything like that, or experience, how long you play the game, it doesn't really factor in. And they're making these nerfs, and then it affects how I play in PvE, which is really annoying. So it seems like they're taking that on board a bit. We'll see if we actually notice a difference where in PvE we're not too bad, and it's just mainly in PvP that we notice these issues. So, okay. Additionally, considering the recent increases to damage reduction for ranged classes, we're increasing the defensive capabilities for Necromancers. to bring them closer to where they were prior to increasing their baseline damage reduction. Oh, okay, right. That's finally something decent I read here. So let me read that again. So we're increasing the defensive capabilities for Necromancers to bring them closer to where they were prior to increasing their baseline. Yes, okay. I was just going to say, like, I feel squishy as it is. And yeah, even with the rank 8 secondaries, I'm still feeling quite squishy at times in certain PvP aspects. That's why I've now tried to pick a build where I can sort of stay back a little bit and sort of fire my summons and sort of fear enemies from a distance and Wraith in and Wraith out sort of thing. Just because if I do get stuck in, I'll just die too quickly. But this is really cool. Okay, I'm really happy with that. Thanks to the Diablo Immortal team for actually thinking about us Necromancers. We've been there since day one. Look after us, please. The following change is a bug fix for the newest Battlegrounds map. So, what's this? Conjuration of Light. Cooldown increased from 26.1 seconds to 29 seconds. Effect duration will be reduced by 50% if you use that again within 16 seconds. Okay, that was the most important bit. The new essences for all of the classes and the balance changes. The rest of the patch notes will be quite sort of easy. It's going easy to read. It's always quite nerve-wracking when you're about to read the balance changes. But yeah, let me know what you think to those balance changes and the new essences coming out. Which ones are you looking forward to using the most? This is now about the iron stockpile event changes, I guess. No one can ever have too many deadly bits of iron in the armory. From April the 2nd to April the 30th. Bolster the stockpiles of Westmarch Armory by completing different tasks. So we've got Fractured Plane coming back, my favourite PvE mode in the game. World Brawl is one of my favourites, but I just don't get as much time to play it when it is on. And then we've got returning events. Alley of Blood's coming back. I usually just grab all the rewards and be done with it, but I do actually prefer Alley of Blood to Conqueror, so I'm happy to see Alley of Blood come back around. All Clans on Deck's coming back as well. Adventurous Path is going to give us some free loot, so that's quite cool. And then feature updates. We've got some updates to the Legendary Gem drop pool. So after this update, some Legendary Gems will be removed from that standard drop pool to make it more efficient, with a total number of gems in the pool now being 48. The gems that were selected to be removed were based off the gems that were selected the least during the latest modified gem drop pool. Okay, they've taken some stats from that previous time they did this. Okay, the number of gems for each quality level is now 16. The removed legendary gems can be re-added to the drop pool by self-selection, and a maximum of 1 gem of each rank can be selected. Following the update, the following legendary gems will be removed from the standard drop pool. Hilt of Many Realms, Tear of the Comet, and the Black Rose will be removed. There's Season 12 of Challenge Rift coming along, so Season 11 ends on April the 28th. Try and get through your Challenge Rifts as quick as you can. I'm quite behind on Challenge Rifts at the moment. Actually, I should probably do that this week, so I may try and catch up with a few more levels. The new season, Season 12, begins at the same time. That'll be April the 28th, and then ends on 19th of June. The Challenge Rift levels will increase from 450 to 500, and the combat rating for levels 431 to 450 will be lowered, so it makes it easy for you to catch up. So there's also some changes to Helicry. The opening the Helicry questline will now unlock at level 60, previously available at level 36. A note to the wise, you need to complete this questline to change difficulties from normal to hell. Yeah, you see a lot of people that are fairly new to the game in world chat sort of asking why they can't jump into various difficulties, and you know, we try and help them out as much as I can, but this is quite nice for newer players jumping into the game. Changes to Destruction's Call, which I've yet to play. We're making some changes to being placed in a match for Destruction's Call. You'll only be placed in the Destruction's Call arena once there's enough players to begin a match, allowing you to continue playing while waiting for a match to begin. Additionally, Destruction's Call will be available to help you get into other matches. That's quite cool. So that's it for the update notes this time round. There wasn't a huge amount of sort of new features coming in the game and sort of things like that. This update is mainly focused on those new essences and the balance changes for all the classes that are coming out. There's going to be loads of new essences for us to play around with, meaning a lot more permutations and combinations for our classes, and it's going to be fun to see what people come up with. I'm really looking forward to the mount, and it's nice to see Necromancers getting a bit more defense as well. That's quite cool. Happy about that, and sort of makes up for that little 10% damage change for Wiltbloom. But yeah, let me know what you think to this update. It's coming live soon, and it's great that the game's still going strong. and we're getting loads of updates coming in the game. So hope you enjoyed watching this one. Have fun in the game, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.